Hey there, quick question for you. Have you ever walked into a room and totally forgotten why you're there? Maybe you've had more of those senior moments, misplacing your keys, forgetting a name, or losing your train of thought mid-sentence. If you're over 60, you're not alone. But here's the good news. Memory loss isn't just a normal part of aging. There are ways to protect your brain, and it starts with what's on your plate. Today, I'm sharing 7 everyday foods backed by real scientific research that help keep your brain sharp, your memory strong, and your independence intact. Let's kick things off with a sweet and powerful brain-boosting food, blueberries. You've probably heard they're good for you, but let's dive into why they're especially important after 60. Blueberries are packed with anthocyanins, a type of flavonoid antioxidant that can cross the blood-brain barrier. Once in the brain, they reduce oxidative stress and inflammation, 2 major culprits behind cognitive decline. A 2010 clinical study from the University of Cincinnati, led by Dr. Robert Krikorian, tested blueberry juice on a group of 70-plus-year-olds with early memory decline. Over 12 weeks, participants who drank 2 cups of blueberry juice daily performed better on memory tests compared to the placebo group. Brain scans showed increased activity in regions related to memory. Dr. Krikorian explains, the antioxidants in blueberries appear to have a direct effect on neural signaling and plasticity, the very things that decline with age. Meet Margaret, 73, retired school teacher from Wisconsin. Margaret used to struggle remembering where she left her reading glasses. She started incorporating blueberries into her breakfast each morning, either in oatmeal or yogurt. After 2 months, she noticed not only clearer thinking, but also fewer senior moments during her crossword puzzle time. She says,
I'm not saying blueberries made me a genius, but I'm definitely finishing more crossword puzzles now than I did last year.
Toss a handful into oatmeal with cinnamon and walnuts for a triple brain boost. Make a frozen berry smoothie with spinach and almond milk for extra antioxidants. Even a cup of frozen blueberries straight from the bag works. No prep needed. Don't forget, frozen berries retain just as many nutrients as fresh. Buy in bulk and store in your freezer for a convenient daily dose. After age 60, the brain's ability to repair and regenerate slows down. At the same time, oxidative stress and inflammation rise. Blueberries help counteract both by improving memory recall and spatial awareness, enhancing blood flow to the brain, and supporting overall cognitive longevity. Dr. Marcia Gordon, a neurologist specializing in aging and dementia, says,
blueberries are among the few natural foods where we have real, peer-reviewed evidence showing their impact on cognitive function. They're basically edible brain insurance.
So next time you think a muffin sounds good, make it a blueberry muffin. Better yet, skip the sugar and go straight for the real thing. Your brain will thank you. Let's move on to one of nature's most brain-shaped foods, walnuts. Ever notice how a walnut looks a lot like a little brain? Well, turns out that's more than a coincidence. Walnuts are one of the richest plant sources of alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a type of omega-3 fatty acid that plays a key role in maintaining the structure and function of brain cells. ALA helps protect neurons from oxidative damage and inflammation, which are both linked to cognitive decline. In a 2021 study published in the Journal of Nutrition, researchers analyzed data from over 3,000 older adults. They found that regular walnut consumption, about 1 to 2 ounces per day, was associated with improved memory recall, better cognitive processing speed, and slower rates of brain aging over a 2-year period. The study followed participants aged 55 to 90 across 3 countries using memory testing and MRI brain scans. The results held even after accounting for age, education, and cardiovascular risk. Dr. Lenore Arab, a professor at UCLA who co-led the research, explains,
walnuts are particularly powerful because they combine antioxidants, omega-3s, and polyphenols that work synergistically to support brain health.
Meet James, 68, a retired engineer from North Carolina. He noticed he was forgetting the names of coworkers from just a few years ago, and even sometimes confused the names of his grandchildren. After seeing a documentary on omega-3s, James started eating 7 to 9 walnut halves every morning with Greek yogurt and honey. Within a month, he noticed his focus improving. Even his wife said he was finishing sentences better and remembering appointments without reminders. He says,
I don't feel foggy anymore. It's like my brain is more awake.
How to use walnuts. Snack on a small handful, 1 ounce, daily, ideally raw or lightly toasted, no salt or sugar. Sprinkle chopped walnuts over salads, oatmeal, or roasted vegetables. Blend them into smoothies with berries for a double antioxidant combo. Make homemade walnut butter for toast. Storage tip: walnuts are high in polyunsaturated fats, which oxidize quickly. Store them in the fridge or even freezer to prevent the oils from going rancid. As we age, the body becomes less efficient at converting plant-based ALA into DHA, the form of omega-3 directly used in the brain. But walnuts help bridge that gap. They're also one of the few nuts that contain melatonin, which helps regulate the sleep-wake cycle. And we know poor sleep equals poor memory equals greater risk of dementia. By helping improve sleep quality and reducing inflammation, walnuts give you a 2-for-1 brain benefit. Dr. Elaine McMahon, a sleep and memory researcher from the University of Michigan, says,
A consistent intake of walnuts can positively affect both short-term memory and sleep architecture, which is crucial for memory consolidation.
If you're looking for a simple, natural way to strengthen your memory and protect your brain, you could do a lot worse than starting your day with a few humble walnuts. Nature gave them the shape of a brain for a reason. Maybe it's time we take the hint. We're diving into something delicious and deeply nourishing: fatty fish. If there's one food group that nearly every neurologist agrees on when it comes to memory protection, it's oily, cold water fish. Salmon, mackerel, sardines, these are like premium grade fuel for your aging brain. Fatty fish are the best natural source of DHA, docosahexaenoic acid, and EPA, eicosapentaenoic acid, 2 omega-3 fatty acids that make up over 30% of the brain's dry weight. DHA is especially important for the hippocampus, the part of the brain that stores and processes memory. A landmark study known as the Framingham Offspring Study followed over 1,000 participants for nearly 10 years. The study, published in Neurology 2006, found that adults with higher blood levels of DHA had a 47% lower risk of developing dementia. Method: participants were followed from midlife into old age. Blood DHA levels were tested. Cognitive assessments and brain imaging were done regularly. Even after adjusting for lifestyle factors, the DHA effect remained strong. In a follow-up study, 2017, the same team showed that increased seafood intake in seniors was associated with better brain volume and fewer Alzheimer's-related lesions. Meet Lillian, 76, a former nurse from Oregon. She hadn't eaten much seafood for years, said she didn't like the smell of it. But after her doctor warned her about rising cholesterol and possible early signs of memory decline, she gave it another try. She started having grilled salmon twice a week and sardines on crackers as an afternoon snack. 6 months later, she said,
I feel less foggy and more focused. My crossword game is back, and I even remembered my neighbor's birthday without a reminder.
How to use fatty fish. Grill or bake salmon fillets with lemon, dill, and olive oil. Add canned sardines and olive oil or water to salads or toast. Make mackerel patties with herbs and eggs, delicious and freezer-friendly. Try tuna, but go light, it's higher in mercury. Sardines are safer and more nutrient-dense. Can't eat fish? A high-quality, mercury-free fish oil or algae oil supplement, if vegetarian, can still help. Always consult your doctor first, especially if you're on blood thinners. After 60, your brain becomes more vulnerable to inflammation, slower blood flow, and neuron damage. DHA helps rebuild cell membranes, reduce inflammation, improve neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to adapt and form new connections. Dr. Martha Claire Morris, a leading nutrition researcher from Rush University, notes,
older adults who consume fish twice a week consistently show better memory and slower cognitive decline, even if they already show signs of mild impairment.
fatty fish isn't just a food, it's brain insurance. If you want to protect your memory, think clearly, and reduce your risk of Alzheimer's or dementia, put fish on your plate. It's a small habit with life-changing payoff. Let's turn over a new leaf, literally, with leafy greens. You might think greens are just for your digestion or bones, but they're also one of the most powerful foods you can eat for your brain, especially after 60. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, collard greens, and Swiss chard are packed with brain-protective nutrients, vitamin K, folate, beta-carotene, and lutein. These compounds slow down cognitive aging by reducing inflammation, improving blood flow to the brain, and supporting neural connections. A 2018 study from Rush University Medical Center, led by Dr. Martha Claire Morris, yes, the same doctor behind the Mind Diet, followed nearly 1,000 older adults for 4.7 years. Key findings: adults who consumed just one serving of leafy greens per day had the cognitive performance of someone 11 years younger. The benefits were dose-dependent. More greens meant stronger memory retention. Dr. Morris said,
adding a daily serving of leafy greens may be a simple, affordable way to potentially slow cognitive decline.
Frank is 82 years old, a retired farmer in Kansas. He used to say,
I'm not a rabbit. I don't eat greens.
But after his daughter convinced him to try a spinach and feta omelet 3 times a week, something changed. He reports feeling more alert, less sluggish, and says,
I don't forget names as much anymore, and I'm back to winning at dominoes.
How to use leafy greens. Sautéed with olive oil, garlic, and lemon. Simple and full of flavor. Blended into smoothies. Try kale, banana, blueberries, and Greek yogurt. Chopped into soups, grain bowls, or omelets. Massaged into salads with olive oil and vinegar. Makes kale easier to digest. Tip: frozen spinach or kale is a great alternative. Just avoid overcooking, which destroys key vitamins. Why it matters for seniors. Folate, vitamin B9, helps reduce homocysteine, an amino acid linked to brain shrinkage and Alzheimer's risk. Vitamin K plays a role in maintaining brain cell structure and calcium balance. Lutein, found in kale and spinach, accumulates in the brain and has been associated with improved processing speed and visual memory in older adults. A 2020 study published in Nutrients confirmed that lutein supplementation improved cognitive flexibility in those over 65. Dr. Lisa Mosconi, a neuroscientist and author of Brain Food, emphasizes that
the color in dark leafy greens isn't just pretty, it's powerful. Those pigments are loaded with neuroprotective compounds that literally feed your memory.
she recommends greens at least 1 meal per day, calling them the multivitamin you can chew. Adding greens to your plate is one of the simplest ways to boost brain health. You don't need to become a vegetarian, but even a few servings a week could mean the difference between forgetfulness and confidence. So next time you look at that bunch of kale at the store, just remember, it's not rabbit food, it's memory fuel. Yes, you heard that right. Chocolate is on the list, and not just because it tastes good. When it comes to boosting memory and brain function after 60, a small amount of dark chocolate can actually go a long way, if you choose the right kind. Dark chocolate is rich in cocoa flavonols, a group of plant-based nutrients that improve cerebral blood flow, reduce inflammation, and support neuron health. In a 2015 study published in the journal Frontiers in Nutrition, researchers gave high flavonol cocoa to older adults for 8 weeks. The result? Significant improvements in verbal fluency, processing speed, and working memory. Enhanced blood flow to the hippocampus. the brain's memory center. This wasn't just about memory games. Participants could hold conversations more easily, remember appointments, and think on their feet more confidently. Another study from the University of L'Aquila in Italy showed that daily cocoa flavanol consumption helped reverse age-related cognitive decline in participants aged 61 to 85. The researchers concluded that cocoa flavanols help protect against normal cognitive aging. As neuroscientist Dr. Scott Small puts it,
cocoa flavanols appear to act on areas of the brain involved in learning and memory. It's one of the few indulgent foods we can recommend with science to back it up.
Take Joanne, a 76-year-old grandmother from Michigan. She's always had a sweet tooth but gave up sugary treats years ago. Now she keeps a small stash of 85% dark chocolate in her fridge.
It gives me a little boost after lunch, and my afternoon energy crashes are less frequent. Plus, I swear I remember names better when I have it daily.
How to use dark chocolate safely. Choose bars with at least 70% cocoa, the higher the better. Limit to 1 to 2 squares per day, just enough for the benefits, not too much for the sugar. Add shaved dark chocolate to Greek yogurt, oatmeal, or trail mix. Try unsweetened cocoa powder in smoothies or warm almond milk for a low-sugar brain drink. Avoid milk chocolate. It contains too much sugar and too few flavanols. And always check labels for hidden ingredients like palm oil or corn syrup. As we age, blood flow to the brain declines, which impacts attention, recall, and overall mental clarity. Cocoa flavanols help dilate blood vessels and improve oxygen delivery to brain tissue. Dark chocolate also stimulates the release of dopamine, which plays a key role in focus and motivation, often lacking in older adults with mild depression or cognitive fatigue. Dr. Suzanne Steinbaum, a cardiologist and wellness expert, notes,
dark chocolate in moderation supports both heart and brain health. The same blood vessels that supply the heart also nourish the brain, so a little square a day might benefit both.
She recommends pairing it with a handful of almonds or walnuts to create a powerful anti-inflammatory, brain-loving snack. Dark chocolate isn't just dessert, it's a delicious delivery system for neuroprotective nutrients. So go ahead, unwrap a square. Your taste buds will thank you, and so will your neurons. Eggs, yes, especially the yolks, are like little golden brain pills. They're one of the most misunderstood foods in senior nutrition, but the truth is they're a powerhouse for cognitive health. The key brain-supporting nutrient in eggs is choline, found mostly in the yolk. Your body uses choline to produce acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter that's crucial for memory, mood, and mental clarity. A major longitudinal study from Boston University, which followed nearly 1,400 adults for 10 years, found that those with higher dietary choline intake had better verbal memory and were less likely to show signs of cognitive decline. Published in American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 2011, study method, food frequency questionnaires, cognitive performance tests, result, top choline consumers scored significantly higher on memory and learning assessments. Dr. Rhoda Au, who led the study, explains,
choline appears to protect brain cells by supporting membrane structure and neurotransmitter function. It's one of the few nutrients directly tied to memory performance.
Meet George, 79, a retired architect from Florida. George used to skip egg yolks, fearing they'd raise his cholesterol, but after speaking to his doctor and reading recent research, he reintroduced 2 whole eggs into his breakfast.
Within a couple of weeks, I stopped forgetting my neighbor's name and actually remembered to pay the water bill on time. It's the little wins.
He now eats eggs 4 to 5 times a week and hasn't looked back. How to use eggs wisely. Go for whole eggs, not just the whites. Ideal cooking, soft-boiled, poached, or lightly scrambled in olive oil to preserve nutrients. Combine with spinach or kale for a double brain-boosting breakfast. Make a veggie-packed omelet with turmeric, a natural anti-inflammatory. If you're concerned about cholesterol, recent studies show moderate egg consumption, up to 1 egg another day, is safe for most seniors and may even raise HDL, good cholesterol. Choline needs increase with age, yet studies show most older adults consume only half the recommended amount. Low choline is linked to poor memory recall, slower processing speed, muscle weakness. Acetylcholine is also used for motor control. Plus, eggs also provide vitamin B12, which many seniors lack due to reduced stomach acid. B12 is essential for myelin sheath maintenance, protects nerve cells, energy and focus, preventing brain atrophy. Dr. David Perlmutter, neurologist and author of Grain Brain, says,
eggs, especially the yolks, are nature's perfect brain food. They contain the full complement of nutrients needed to support neurological health, including choline, B12, and omega-3s.
He recommends pairing eggs with healthy fats like avocado or olive oil for improved absorption and satiety. Don't let outdated nutrition myths rob your brain of what it needs. Embrace the yolk. It's not the villain we once thought. It's actually part of the memory solution. Let's wrap up the list with a food that's creamy, versatile, and incredibly brain-friendly: the mighty avocado. You may already love it on toast or in a salad, but after 60, it does more than just taste good. It actively supports your cognitive health. Avocados are rich in monounsaturated fats, which help maintain healthy blood flow and reduce inflammation, both crucial for brain function. They're also packed with lutein, a carotenoid antioxidant that accumulates in the brain and eyes. Unlike some nutrients that require supplements to be effective, lutein from whole food sources like avocados is highly bioavailable. A 2017 randomized controlled trial published in Nutrients studied older adults ages 60 to 75 who consumed half avocado per day for 6 months. The results? A 25% increase in lutein levels, improved working memory, better problem-solving speed. The study was conducted by Tufts University and showed that dietary lutein was associated with thicker gray matter in the brain, particularly in the temporal cortex, an area responsible for memory and language. Meet Elaine, 69, a retired dental hygienist who started eating half an avocado every morning after her morning walk.
I used to struggle remembering names or where I place things around the house. Now, I feel sharper during conversations and more focused when I read.
Elaine mixes her avocado with lemon juice, olive oil, and a pinch of turmeric for anti-inflammatory support, a combo her grandkids now call Grandma's Brain Butter. How to add avocados to your routine. Spread mashed avocado on whole grain toast with a sprinkle of flaxseed. Add cubes to tuna salad or mix with hard-boiled eggs. Blend into a green smoothie with spinach, banana, and Greek yogurt. Make a simple avocado mousse using unsweetened cocoa and honey as dessert. A squeeze of lemon helps prevent browning and supports digestion. After 60, the brain becomes more susceptible to oxidative damage and vascular stiffness. The monounsaturated fats in avocados support healthy blood pressure, nourish neuronal membranes, promote neurogenesis, the formation of new brain cells. Plus, avocados are rich in vitamin K, folate, magnesium, and potassium, nutrients linked to lower risk of cognitive decline and better executive function. Dr. Elizabeth Johnson, a scientist at Tufts University who led the lutein study, notes,
What we eat literally changes the structure and function of our brain. Avocados, because of their fat profile and nutrient density, help preserve the areas of the brain that typically decline with age.
She emphasizes that whole foods like avocados are more effective than isolated supplements because of the synergy between nutrients. Don't underestimate this humble green fruit. It's not just trendy, it's functional nutrition for your brain. Whether you enjoy it savory or sweet, make room for avocado in your weekly meals. Let's take a moment to breathe and bring everything we just covered into focus. If you're over 60 and worried about your memory, here's what we now know. You don't need expensive supplements. You don't need to just accept memory loss. You need a strategy. And that strategy starts in your kitchen. Now what? Your action plan. It's not about perfection, it's about consistency. Here's a simple 4-step plan to begin right now. 1. Start small. Pick just one of these foods and add it to your day. That's it. Example: add walnuts to your salad today. Tomorrow, try a soft-boiled egg. 2. Plan ahead. Make a weekly grocery list. Stick a note on the fridge with these 7 foods. Pro tip: batch prep your blueberries. Chop greens ahead. Boil eggs in bulk. 3. Keep a food plus mood journal. Track how you feel after meals. Are you more focused after lunch? Sleeping better? Patterns emerge faster when you write things down. 4. Share it. Involve a friend or family member. Health is easier when shared. Maybe you and your spouse make a brain breakfast every Sunday. Or invite your neighbor over for avocado toast and a chat. Picture this. You're 74 and remembering your grandkid's birthday without needing to double-check your calendar. You're having sharper conversations with your friends at bridge night. You're reading a book cover to cover again, not losing the plot halfway through. That's not a fantasy. That's what happens when your brain is nourished, supported, and respected. Dr. Lisa Mosconi, a neuroscientist and author of Brain Food, reminds us,
the brain is not immune to aging, but it is incredibly responsive to nutrition. What you eat today is feeding your future brain.
So ask yourself, what future am I feeding today? Which food are you going to try first? Drop it in the comments and share your favorite way to enjoy it. Someone else in the community might get inspired. Ready? Because we're not stopping here. If you're with me so far, say yes in the comments. The next chapter? Even more powerful, because now you'll know what not to eat for a healthier brain. Stay tuned. So here's the deal, my friend. You've just learned about 7 powerful, proven foods that can actually protect your memory, slow down brain aging, and keep you mentally sharp even after 60, 70, or 80. And no, this isn't wishful thinking. This is real science, real food, real change. Here's what I need you to remember. Your brain is not finished. It's still alive, it's still learning, and it's still growing, as long as you give it the fuel it needs. Researchers call this concept neuroplasticity. It means your brain is able to adapt, form new connections, and even regenerate lost function. And guess what keeps neuroplasticity strong? Yep, nutrition, movement, sleep, and mental engagement. Meet Linda. She's 73. She started adding blueberries to her breakfast and switched her afternoon snack to walnuts. Within a few weeks, she noticed she didn't need to write everything down anymore. She was sleeping better, too. Her husband said,
"You seem more yourself again."
That's what we're aiming for. Not perfection, not a miracle, just small, consistent upgrades that give you back your energy, your confidence, your clarity. Dr. Dean Sherzai, neurologist and co-director of the Alzheimer's Prevention Program at Loma Linda University, says,
90% of Alzheimer's cases can be delayed or prevented with lifestyle, and nutrition is the cornerstone.
Think about that. 9 out of 10. That's not luck, that's action. So here's your next step. 1. Pick one food from today's list. 2. Eat it tomorrow. 3. Tell someone you care about to do the same. 4. Come back to this video in a week and tell us how it went. That's it. That's the power of community and accountability. What's your favorite brain-healthy food now? Did you learn something new today? I read every single comment and I love hearing from you. And if this video helped you, subscribe, like, share it with someone you love. Let's age stronger together.